At the wedding, my fiancé replaced my 10-carat diamond ring with a soda can tab. I thought he had made a mistake and quickly reminded him, Marcus, that's not my ring. The bridesmaids anxiously asked, where's the ring? I'll go get it? Marcus frowned impatiently, stopping the bridesmaid who was about to look for the ring. No need to look, I didn't make a mistake. I gave the ring to Chloe. She said she's been feeling down lately, and something sparkly might cheer her up. He sighed, then added, Grace, you've had a privileged upbringing, so this diamond ring means little to you. But comes from a humble background, a diamond ring would make her happy for days. You understand, don't you? At that moment, I felt my blood run cold. Marcus, I'm giving you an hour to get that ring back. If it's not back in an hour, don't bother coming back yourself. Grace, you're so heartless. You'd fight over such a small ring? You're truly vicious. I smiled, then threw the soda can tab to the ground. To hell with it, this wedding's off. The moment Marcus produced the soda can tab, the entire wedding venue fell silent, and all eyes turned to us. My parents' faces were etched with fury. My best friend stood up for me, indignant. Grace's $30 million diamond ring replaced with a cheap tab. Marcus, do you even have a conscience left? Grace has been with you for 7 years, building everything from scratch alongside you, and this is how you treat her? Eleanor rushed forward, shielding Marcus. What 30 million or 20 million? Marcus is marrying a person, not a ring. Besides, Chloe's father is Marcus's savior. What's wrong with us looking after his daughter a little more? She turned to me, tears welling up instantly. Grace, our Marcus has been working overtime for you every day, he's lost so much weight. And you'd humiliate him in public just for a ring? I scoffed. If your family wants to repay a debt, do it yourselves. Does that mean Chloe can't be refused? If she wants to sleep with Marcus later? Marcus's face turned beet red. Grace, if you're angry, take it out on me. Don't drag Chloe into this. Don't slander her reputation. Once you marry me, Chloe's family will be your benefactors too. What's wrong with giving her a ring? Every time Marcus abandoned me to go to Chloe, he'd tell me this story. What started as initial sympathy had gradually turned into indifference, and now, sheer disgust. I fiercely threw the can tab to the ground, where it landed with a sharp clink. Marcus, I'm not marrying you. I ripped off my veil and, with the help of the bridesmaids, walked off the stage. My parents rushed towards me. Seeing my tear-filled eyes, my mother squeezed my hand tightly. Grace, we're not going through with this wedding. Mom's taking you home. Seeing this scene, our guests quietly left the venue. I changed into casual clothes, saw off the bridesmaids, and drove straight to Chloe's house. When I arrived, Chloe was engrossed in opening packages. I looked closer and saw that her tool for opening packages was my $30 million diamond ring. The diamond's brilliance was dulled, covered in countless scratches. Shaking with fury, I lunged forward, intending to snatch it back. Chloe jumped back with a scream, but still clutched the ring tightly in her hand. She didn't fall. Marcus, who had just arrived, caught her in his arms. He saw me, his face instantly turning ashen, and he angrily accused, Grace, are you insane? Why would you push Chloe? Marcus shielded Chloe behind him, glaring at me furiously. It's just a ring. You'd assault someone over it? How heartless can you be? My heart sank. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a pair of matching slippers by the entrance, labeled Marcus's and Chloe's. Furious, I laughed, then turned and left. I went to our place, Marcus and my shared home, found the largest suitcases and trash bags, and emotionlessly began packing Marcus's belongings. As I walked back after disposing of the trash, I saw Marcus and Chloe standing not far away. Grace, have you had enough? Marcus's voice was filled with suppressed anger. Chloe hid behind him, crying tearfully, and timidly extended her hand, the ring resting in her palm. Ms. Grace, I'm sorry. Here's your ring back. It's all my fault. Please don't be angry with Marcus. As she spoke, she walked towards me, but somehow tripped, stumbling forward. Ah! With a short gasp, the ring slipped from her hand and fell into the garden pond. Oh no, I didn't mean to, Marcus. Ms. Grace is going to be so angry. Chloe, on the verge of tears, clutched Marcus's arm. Marcus ignored her, turned to glare intensely at me, and without a word, jumped into the cold garden pond. Water splashed everywhere. He wiped his face, fumbled around in the water, then roared at me, Grace, are you happy now? Marcus, soaking wet, handed the ring to me, and I took it. The next morning, my best friend called, her voice seething with barely suppressed anger. Grace, go online and see. That bastard Marcus bought a trending topic to smear you. I clicked on the news. Overnight, press releases had flooded the internet. Hashtag heiress, a girl from a humble at her hashtag groom into water for savior's daughter to find hashtag beneath the glaring headlines. The accompanying photos were meticulously chosen. One showed Marcus fumbling miserably in the dimly lit garden pond, soaking wet. Another showed me standing by the garden pond, the lighting outlining my indifferent profile. The press releases described me as standing with arms crossed, watching coldly, with an arrogant expression. The photo was taken from an incredibly tricky angle, making me look like a villainous character. The comment section had exploded. This rich girl is truly vicious, isn't she? The other girl already returned the ring, and she still deliberately threw it into the water? Poor, marrying a woman like this is having the worst luck imaginable. I think I know th. At Chloe, her family is very poor, but she's especially kind and often volunteers. Reading those words twisting the truth, my fingertips turned cold with anger. Marcus, what a cunning move. He knew my family was well respected and valued our reputation above all else. He wanted to put me under immense public pressure with public opinion, force me to admit fault, and then welcome him and his childhood sweetheart back in style. Just then, my assistant called. Ms. Grace, something's happened at the office, you need to come see it right away. I rushed to the office. My assistant Alex's eyes were red, and he looked at me as if I were his anchor, his voice trembling. Ms. Grace, you're finally here. The phones at the office reception have been ringing off the hook with calls from brand partners and distributors. My company is a design studio that has gained high recognition in the industry over the past few years. Alex handed me his tablet. The screen showed the headline from the most authoritative fashion media. Hashtag Rising Chloe, Haute Collection Rebirth astounds. Hashtag in the photo, the models behind Chloe were wearing my chrysalis collection, a year of my hard work, slated for release next month. My designs had now become Chloe's most dazzling halo. Ms. Grace, our official and private accounts are being cyberbullied, all accusing us of plagiarism. Alex's voice was tearful. Our partners have sent us legal notices, claiming we maliciously leaked trade secrets and demanding 10 times the liquidated damages. My heart felt as if it were gripped by an icy hand, the pain making it impossible to breathe. Just then, an employee from the security department came over. Ms. Grace, we've traced an account named Marcus that breached our firewall. Marcus? It was him again. He had pushed my company, built through years of hard work, to the brink of collapse. I dialed Marcus's number, and it was quickly answered. Marcus, do you know you've committed a crime? I'm going to see all the police, clear my name, and contact a lawyer to recover the losses. Marcus's tone was impatient. Grace, do you really need to be so ruthless? They're just a few worthless papers, you can just draw them again. As long as you agree not to pursue charges, I promise we'll have another wedding. I had no patience to listen to him ramble further, so I called 911. After handling everything, I suddenly felt dizzy. When I next awoke, I was in the hospital. After I woke up, my mother told me that Marcus's phone had been unreachable all the days I was unconscious. I opened my phone and found that Chloe had posted photos of herself by the coast on a social media platform, and the hands holding hers were Marcus's. He was with Chloe, who was supposedly depressed due to guilt, taking a stroll by the coast. At that moment, I lost all hope. Just as I was about to go out for a walk, I bumped into Marcus's mother. She was carrying a thermos, her face wreathed in smiles as she approached. Oh, Grace, I heard you were hospitalized. Auntie specially made you some chicken soup, drink it while it's warm. He really is something. Chloe has been stimulated and her mental state hasn't been good, so he went to take her for a walk. He left in a hurry and forgot to tell you. Seeing my silence, she simply poured the chicken soup into a bowl on her own. From now on, you'll be part of our Jiang family. You need to learn to be understanding of Marcus. Besides, with your good background and family wealth, what's wrong with being a little more accommodating to Chloe? Young people make mistakes, it's not a big deal. Forgive him this time, and when he comes back, I'll make him apologize to you. The greasy smell hung in the hospital room, and I suppressed my nausea as I said, Get out. I am not part of your Jiang family, and I will not marry Marcus. Remember, I'm the one who doesn't want him. Eleanor's face turned crimson with anger, and she stomped her foot and left. 2 more days passed, and I was discharged from the hospital. I had already sold our place, but there were still a few valuable items I hadn't taken. I pulled open a drawer and immediately saw the empty velvet box. My heart sank. Inside it had been a pair of heirloom jade bracelets left to me by my grandmother. My grandmother passed away early, and these jade bracelets were my only memento of her. priceless beyond measure. I frantically searched the entire house, from the wardrobe to under the bed, not even sparing the trash cans. One jade bracelet had vanished into thin air. It wasn't until I inexplicably opened Chloe's social media post that a photo abruptly caught my eye. Under a clear blue sky, she wore a white dress, smiling with pure innocence. The smooth white gleam on her wrist was so familiar it stung my eyes. It was the jade bracelet I was missing. The caption was even more infuriating. Marcus said this is a family heirloom, and only the gentlest and kindest girl deserves it. Blood rushed to my head, every bone in my body screamed with rage. This was the final straw. I grabbed my car keys and handbag, and stormed to Marcus's office. The receptionist tried to stop me, but I pushed her aside. I kicked open his office door. With a loud bang. The scene inside was even more disgusting than I had imagined. Chloe was perched daintily on Marcus's lap, holding a peeled grape and feeding it to him. Their posture was so intimate they looked like conjoined twins. And on Chloe's raised wrist, my heirloom jade bracelet glittered, making my head spin. At the peak of my anger, I laughed instead. Marcus, you're not human. With all my might, I hurled the bag in my hand at him. In the chaos, the bag hit the corner of the table, and its contents scattered across the floor. A piece of paper fluttered lightly to Marcus's feet. His gaze was fixed on that paper. It was my ultrasound report. Clearly printed at the top, 8 weeks. The office instantly fell silent. Marcus froze, and the color drained from Chloe's face immediately. His eyes darted between my flat stomach and the report, his Adam's apple bobbing as he murmured, You're pregnant? Marcus's gaze shifted from the report to my face, his Adam's apple bobbing. You're pregnant? His voice held shock, and something else I couldn't quite decipher. My heart skipped a beat. Perhaps this child could awaken 7 years of memories in him. He would remember the future we planned, remember how he promised to give me and our child a home. For a split second, I even thought, if he turned back now, I could. Grace! He suddenly rushed over, grabbing my wrist with a force that felt like it would crush my bones. Don't think you can use a child to blackmail me. This child, is it even mine? The searing pain in my wrist shattered that ridiculous notion in my mind. I looked at him as if he were a stranger. Before he could finish, Chloe's tears began to fall. She tugged at Marcus's sleeve, her body trembling. Marcus, please don't be like this. Ms. Grace surely didn't mean to deceive you. It's all my fault, I shouldn't have appeared. If this child causes you trouble, I can step aside. I don't want anything. Marcus's protective instincts flared. He violently pushed me away. Wearing high heels, I stumbled backward, my lower back hitting the doorframe hard. A sharp pain made my vision go black. He didn't even glance at me, turning instead to shield Chloe in his arms, whispering comfort, Chloe, this isn't your fault. Then, he turned back to me, his voice devoid of warmth, look what you've done to Chloe. Grace, let's talk. Since there's a child now, let's just wipe the slate clean on everything that happened before. You must apologize to Chloe, and you need to learn to accept her from now on. She has no one to rely on, it's only right that we take care of her a little more. Wipe the slate clean. Accept her. It's only right. Supporting my aching back, I slowly straightened up. I looked at him, shielding another woman, at his face issuing commands. I smiled. Marcus, first, this child is mine, and has nothing to do with you. His face changed. Second, I said, word for word, from now on, the game is over. Without another look at him, I took the jade bracelet from Chloe's hand and turned to leave. Walking out of the building, I made 2 calls. The first was to Mr. Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds, prepare the litigation documents. File a lawsuit against Marcus and Fashion for commercial infringement and theft of trade secrets. I want them to pay until they're utterly bankrupt. The second was to my father. Dad, it's me. Marcus's company, and all his family's discoverable businesses, I don't want to see them anymore. Use all our connections to launch a full-scale attack. There was a moment of silence on the other end, then my father's voice, all right. Grace, go for it. If the sky falls, your dad's here to hold it up for you. I hung up the phone. Marcus, don't you love protecting the vulnerable? I'll let you taste what it's like to have nothing. Marcus's company went bankrupt. My father's actions were swift. First, he found himself blacklisted from the industry. Several agreed-upon offers were rescinded overnight. He called me, his voice laden with suppressed anger. Grace, what is the meaning of this? I hung up and blocked his number. He thought it was just one of my tantrums, so he tried calling from a different number, but I didn't answer. He sent a text message, have you made enough of a scene? Do you think this will force me to come back? I didn't reply. Within a few days, his family's construction projects were halted, and calls from the bank demanding loan repayments reached his father's phone. That's when he panicked. The content of his text shifted from accusations to tentative pleas. Grace, can we talk? I was wrong, I apologize. I looked at the message, smiled, and handed my phone to Mr. Reynolds beside me. See, he's starting to be afraid. R. Reynolds adjusted his glasses. Ms. Grace, this is just the beginning. The court summons arrived at his home. Commercial infringement, theft of trade secrets, and the amount of compensation demanded was astronomical. His company's termination contract also arrived, citing moral depravity and severe damage to the company's image. His text messages became pathetic. Grace, please, I beg you, answer my call. 7 years of our relationship, are you really so heartless? The child. Is our child okay? You can't let him be born without a father. Seeing the word child, my heart ached. I touched my abdomen, which was still flat. I sent him my first, and last, message. My child will call whoever I choose dad. The message went unanswered, swallowed by silence. I thought he would give up then. To my surprise, Chloe contacted me first. She asked to meet me at a coffee shop. Ms. Grace, please let Marcus go. Her eyes were red, and she still had her pitiful, vulnerable demeanor. I stirred the coffee in my cup, saying nothing. He has nothing left, why must you be so ruthless? She said, tears falling. He only feels platonic affection for me, the person he loves has always been you. I looked up at her, are you here on his behalf? She paused, then shook her head, no, I came on my own. I can't just stand by and watch you destroy him. Is that so? I took a bank card from my handbag and pushed it towards her. There's $500,000 in here. Leave him, and leave this city. The sadness on her face instantly froze. She stared intently at the card, her eyes betraying greed and struggle. I smiled, your so-called love is worth this much? Her face went from red to white. She suddenly stood up, who wants your dirty money? Grace, don't go too far. Too far? I took back the bank card. Chloe, the real show is yet to come. After that day, Marcus completely lost it. His company's troubles had him overwhelmed, yet Chloe still constantly wanted him to spend time shopping, eating, and having fun with her. His doting on Chloe turned from initial devotion to outright disgust. Marcus had been staying at the office for several days. When he returned to the place he shared with Chloe, he found it in utter disarray. Chloe had already packed her bags and fled. Their relationship ultimately couldn't escape the allure of money. Marcus finally seemed to understand that Chloe merely enjoyed his generosity but couldn't share any of his burdens. He started calling me from various unfamiliar numbers. I answered once. On the other end of the line was a deathly silence, broken only by his heavy breathing and suppressed sobs. Grace, he finally spoke, his voice hoarse and broken, I was wrong. I didn't speak. I truly know I was wrong. Please come back, okay? I'll give everything back to you. Let's go back to how things were. Go back to how things were? I thought of the scene where he shielded Chloe, demanding why I had frightened her so much. I thought of his first reaction upon seeing the pregnancy report, questioning whether the child was his. I let out a soft laugh. That laugh seemed to utterly break him. On the other end of the phone, he screamed, utterly distraught, Grace, what do you want? Do you want to kill me? Marcus, I said calmly, you started the game, but when it ends is up to me. I hung up. That night, it began to rain heavily. I was watching a movie in the living room when the butler walked over and said, Ms. Grace, Mr. Marcus is outside. I didn't even lift an eyelid, send him away. He said, he won't leave, he wants to wait until you see him. Then let him wait. The rain grew heavier, accompanied by thunder and lightning. My father came out of his study, glancing out the window. Grace, should I call security? I shook my head. Dad, don't mind him. He knelt outside the villa's iron gate, letting the cold rain wash over his body. He just knelt there on the hard asphalt, calling my name over and over again. Grack. I was wrong. Grace, come out and see me. Grace, please. His voice went from an initial roar to a hoarse whisper, and finally, a faint plea. I sat in my warm bedroom, pulling the thick curtains shut, blocking everything outside. My phone vibrated. It was a message from my father. He's still kneeling, it's been almost a day. Grace, Dad knows you're hurting, but don't get upset over someone who isn't worth it. I looked at the message, and something inside me seemed to stir. I walked to the window, peering through a gap in the curtains to look downstairs. That once vibrant man now knelt in the muddy water like an abandoned dog, looking utterly miserable. Perhaps, if only I opened the door, if only I said one word of forgiveness, That thought lasted only a second before I extinguished it. I took out my phone and called Mr. Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds, tell Marcus that if he wants his parents to also face charges for accessory to a crime, he can keep kneeling. On the other end of the line, Mr. Reynolds responded, understood. I hung up, turned off my phone, and lay back in bed. The sound of the rain and the cries from outside seemed to vanish. I pulled the thick curtains shut and went to sleep. I left that city. I registered a company abroad and founded a brand. With the resources of the Xiao family, my business quickly gained recognition. However, at a banquet, I saw a woman who resembled Chloe, leaning against a wealthy magnate. The magnate squeezed her chest, then pushed her towards another greasy man. The man leered at her, and Chloe didn't object. I ultimately couldn't bring myself to abort the child, thinking it was quite alright to have money and a child, even without a man. My belly grew bigger each day. I had regular prenatal checkups, read parenting books, and lived a quiet life. A man appeared by my side, an architect. His gaze held no calculation, only gentleness. I didn't accept him, but I enjoyed the feeling. Marcus still found me. That day, I was at a coffee shop, the sun shining brightly. I instinctively touched my belly and smiled. Marcus appeared just then. He was very thin, his suit was wrinkled, and his eyes were sunken. He stared intently at me, and seeing the smile on my face, his own face began to distort. Grace! He lunged forward, trying to grab my hand. My bodyguard stopped him, pushing him away. He fell to the ground, but scrambled back up regardless, reaching out to me, crying, Grace! I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. Please come back, okay? I can't live without you. I can't live without our child. I've already broken up with Chloe. I'll give everything back to you. Please give me another chance. I looked at him as if he were a stranger. Mr. Marcus, my voice was flat, you've got three things wrong. First, the child in my belly will bear my surname, Xia, after birth. He has nothing to do with you. Second, my lawyer will calculate the losses you've caused me, item by item. You'd better pray you can pay it all back. Third, don't ever appear before me again. Otherwise, I will file a restraining order. With that, I took a document from my handbag and threw it in front of him. Oh, and by the way, this is for you. I think, as the victim, you have the right to know the truth. It was evidence. It detailed how Chloe set up a scheme, faking cyberbullying, then sold her chat records with Marcus, along with my stolen design drafts, to my competitor's company. It also included transfer records between her and the competitor's executives. From the very beginning, she had been using Marcus. He was a pawn, a stepping stone. Marcus's hands trembled as he turned page after page. His face went from white to green, then to gray. He thought he was a hero protecting the weak. In the end, he was the prey. No, impossible. Chloe, she's not, he muttered to himself, finally clutching the papers and letting out a primal roar. He had collapsed. Marcus sold his parents' properties. He compensated my comp. It wasn't enough. My lawyer told him he'd never be able to pay off the remaining debt in his lifetime. He called me. Grace, I'll pay it back. His voice was like sandpaper. Interest accrues daily. I hung up. I received several small transfers, a few hundred, 1,000. Each came with a message. I'm paying it back. I had my assistant block his account. Later, he somehow got news of my return to the country. He sent me a message. I want to see you. I looked at the message, feeling like my phone screen was somehow dirty. I wiped it with a tissue, then deleted the conversation. He found me at the office building lobby. He waited for 3 days. I left through the underground parking garage, never using the main entrance once. On the 4th day, he didn't return. I heard he was taken away by the police for disturbing public order. My father called the police. My father called me. Grace, did I do something wrong? No, I said, Dad, you did the right thing. The next time I heard about Marcus was at my son's first birthday party. The party was held at our estate, with many guests. The architect, now my husband, was holding my hand and exchanging pleasantries with the guests. The butler came to my side and whispered, Ms. Grace, Mr. Marcus is outside and wishes to come in. My husband asked, who? Someone unimportant, I replied. Then I told the butler, tell him to leave. He said, he just wants to catch a glimpse of the child from afar. My husband's brow furrowed. He glanced at the security guard nearby. No need, I stopped him. I'll handle it. I walked to the estate's security room. On the screen, Marcus stood outside the ornate iron gate. He wore a faded shirt, thin as a rail. He stared into the depths of the estate, his eyes holding an emotion I couldn't decipher. I picked up the intercom and connected to the guard at the gate. Zoom in, focus on his face. The face on the screen was magnified. Gaunt, unshaven, with deeply sunken eyes. Marcus? My voice carried through the outdoor speaker. Do you see this? He flinched, looking up to find the source of the voice. Your son, he's inside, being held by another man. He's going to call that man Dad. I watched his body on the screen begin to tremble. He will inherit everything of the Xia family. And you are nothing. I saw his lips move, but couldn't make out what he was saying. Probably my fault or please. Oh, right, I picked up my phone and sent an instruction to Mr. Reynolds. Marcus's phone rang. He picked it up with a trembling hand. I don't know what Mr. Reynolds said. I only saw Marcus's face, in an instant, lose all color. He seemed to lose his very bones, collapsing limp to his knees on the ground. He clutched something in his hand, it looked like a rusty tab. I turned off the monitor. All right, I smiled at my husband, let's go back and cut the cake. That night, I received a message from Mr. Reynolds. Marcus jumped from the Bayview. The police only found a soda tab on his person. I replied with one word. Good. I put down my phone. My son was sleeping soundly in his crib. My husband walked over and embraced me from behind. It's all over, he said. I leaned into his embrace and nodded. Outside, the moonlight was perfect. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your views, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.